Thank you, everyone. It's really nice to be sitting down once in a while as an attendee rather than running your own event. So great job to the InsureTech Australia team. Really enjoying the lineup and the speakers so far. But yes, good afternoon, everyone. We are finally at our pitch session at InsureTechLIVE 2023. I'm Tricia, Director of InsureTech Connect Asia, the largest global gathering for innovation and transformation in the insurance space. Today, we're here with 5 amazing InsurTechs across Australia, together with our wonderful panel of judges. We'll be picking one InsurTech that will represent Australia in the finals at InsureTech Connect Asia 2023 this coming May in Singapore. The ITC Asia Awards honor new technologies in and around the insurance industry for outstanding contributions to transforming the insurance world. In collaboration with our partners like InsureTech Australia, ITC Asia will gather the best InsurTech players from across the region through the series of our ITC Asia roadshows. So if you guys don't know yet, we've picked out our winners for Indonesia, Malaysia, as well as India. And today we'll be picking someone from Australia. We will be also going to Japan and Hong Kong, and all these finalists will compete in ITC Asia 2023 this coming May. So without further ado, let's welcome our judges panel for today. First, we have Dr. Michael Neary, Regional General Manager, Insurance APAC at DXC Technology, over here. Next up, we have Andy Parton, Partner, Financial Services, Technology Consulting, EY. We also have Cherise Thompson, Head of Strategy and Innovation, RAA Insurance. Last but not least, we have Jodie Foster, Head of Optimization Operations at Holland. So before we begin our InsurTech pitch session proper, I would like to share how you can be part of the voting process on your favorite Australia InsurTech. There will be a multiple choice poll at the end of the 5th presentation, and you will be given 5 minutes to vote before the break. There will be a QR code on the screen for you to scan and vote. So after the 5th presentation, don't leave immediately for the break yet. Scan the QR code, vote for your favorite InsurTech so that we can collate the results during the break itself. So for those of you guys that are interested in joining us for ITC Asia 2023, there is a special promo code for all of you that are sitting down here. My marketing team make sure I flashed this out. So in case you guys want to buy tickets, there is a $200 off. So just remember the promo code. You will not get this code anywhere else except today. So you can buy it anytime, but feel free to take a picture of it. All right, so finally, let's call our first InsurTech of the day, Hans, co-founder of Sentro, on stage. Hans, please. Perfect.
Thank you, Tricia. I have the unenviable job of going first with a Canadian accent, so here we go. I'm Hans from Sentro. We are a group insurance and group administration platform. My co-founder and I, Rob Ellis, we flew over here this morning from Auckland, New Zealand. And if you've been following the news, you've known that New Zealand's been recently devastated by cyclones, and I've met a few people today in the claims game that are helping New Zealand counterparts settle claims and really try and help people at a time of crisis. So I just wanted to take a moment and take some of my precious 5 minutes to say thank you for that. We really do appreciate that. The people in New Zealand are really suffering right now. Sentro is the operating system for group insurance. My background, I built the first commercial sports website when I was the CIO of the Toronto Blue Jays. Built the first electronic banking, internet banking product for ASB Bank in Auckland, New Zealand. For me, it's always been about how does technology get applied to make things better for people. And the fun fact, I've represented New Zealand in the Winter Olympics, actually in curling. And curling is a team sport, and group insurance is a team sport. So there's the tenuous link between group insurance and curling. Group insurance, if you're not familiar with the term, that's the stuff that companies buy for their people, typically life insurance or health insurance. And it's a really challenging segment to service well because there are a lot of people involved in it. There's the insurer, there's the broker, there's the employer. Sometimes there's a third-party administrator, and most important of all, there's the employee that's actually covered. And so what the entire service chain is trying to do is to make it easier on themselves, whether you're the insurer, the broker, the employer, or the insured person trying to make choices. We've been spending the last couple of days wondering if we're going to get out of New Zealand to come here, and so being the group nerd that I am, I thought, okay, Air New Zealand, their pilots must have group insurance schemes, and so I found a brochure for the benefit scheme for Air New Zealand pilots. And I'm going to ask you, as people, we've all worked for companies, how many of you got a brochure like this the first day that you worked at your company or the first week, explaining your company benefits? If you had things like that, did you ever read them? No, they wound up in the drawer and you kind of wondered. And that's the common experience. A lot of work and effort gets put into preparing things for people that they don't really understand, or it's not really explained well to them. People come, people go from companies. Making things easier for servicing this business for everybody involved in it is really challenging. And it's often mission impossible because there's disconnected processes at the back end, legacy technology at the back end. So with these disconnections, trying to make everything easy for everybody is really, really hard. Rob and I both feel really, we're compelled by, it should be easier for employers to look after their people. But what we realized is for that to happen, you had to make it easier for the brokers to service the companies. You had to make it easier for the insurers to service the brokers so they can take products to the companies. If you're not doing it all, you're not doing any of it. So we decided to make mission impossible possible. We built Sentro. Sentro makes group easier for everyone. It's a group-specific platform. We've got features that make it easier for insurers. One-click renewals, configurable plans, prorated group billing, all the heavy lifting. Integrated online services to make it easier for employers and employees to do maintenance, to choose products. Brandable, configurable, and AI-powered. Sentro makes group easier for everyone. Partners Life, one of our New Zealand customers, is a great example of the power of Sentro. They chose us. They were moving off a TPA. They needed something that could let them configure plans and products for their customers. They wanted somebody they could trust as a partner. And to grow their business results have been spectacular. They've tripled their group business since coming onto the Sentro platform. They join our customers in Singapore, in Canada, New Zealand, and hopefully soon here in Australia, enjoying the benefits of more productive, happier group customers. So we believe that we should be able to turn this into a question-answering machine automatically. Through the power of technology, joined-up processes, better services, we can provide an easier experience for everyone and a better service for the end insured person to get the things that they want done. So thank you very much. I'm Hans from Sentro, and if you're interested in improving your group business, we'd love to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hans. So next up we have Andy, founder and CTO of Advisor. Please welcome him on stage.
Hello, it's great to be here. AdvisrMe is the marketing platform for large networks of insurance agents and insurance brokers. Put simply, what we do is we enable your networks, your people, to participate in the digital marketing efforts of big organisations. But why is this a problem? Well, let's stop and think what's happening right now. At the moment, we have these large networks, these agents, these brokers, and they are massively underutilised online. They're not doing anything, right? And if they are doing something, if they're bold enough to step forward and try, then what they're doing is often not on brand, hard to understand, and maybe different than what you want them doing, right? In addition to that, when we think about our teams and our people, if they're big, how do we measure those results at scale? The efforts and the activities that they're doing online. And lastly, when we think about this, do we want our people participating online in our marketing efforts when compliance is such a big question? How do we manage that? There's risk. Well, why does this matter? Let's stop and think about the different participants. Firstly, let's think about your team. Your team members, your agents and your brokers, they really want to look great online. No one wants to look bad online, right? They want to look great online, and they want to be able to be found online. They want to be compliant and be confident in that, and they also want to know that when they're doing things for your organisations, that their efforts have impact and that they'll get rewarded for it. What about our customers? Well, we all know that customers are looking online, don't we? And they really want to look online because people do business with people that they trust. And there's two ways that trust gets built online. Firstly, through content and content marketing specifically. 47% of people will read 3 or more pieces of content before they reach out and connect with a professional. If your agents and brokers aren't sharing content online and your competitors are, who are your customers going to trust? Where are they going to go? Let's think about customer reviews. Who buys anything without reading a customer review these days? Well, you're not alone. 93% of people won't buy a product until they've read a customer review. And if you think that's not going to translate and transition into the professional services realm, then you're vastly mistaken. It's happening, and it's happening now. And if you're not competing in that space now and starting to build a war chest for that now, you'll be left behind. Let's think about the management of our organisations. They want impact, right? They want to know that their teams are delivering impact, and they want to be able to measure that quickly and easily. Well, the great thing is, AdvisrMe is the purpose-built solution that delivers all of that. We've got smart digital tools. We enable your team to look great online, and they get to control, configure, and participate in that actively. They get to look good online, which is great. You get to know that they're compliant online because you can see what they're doing, and you can help them out, your team at scale. And lastly, we've rolled up all of the impact measures in there so you can measure it quickly and easily, reporting back to that boss, letting him know everything's under control. So let's get really specific. What is it that we actually do? Well, let's think of a piece of content. Head office produce one piece of content that they want to share out to their teams, all right? They make it available for all of their agents or brokers to be able to pick up, and in one click, they can personalise that. Add their name, their face, their contact details, share it with their network, and you can measure all of those results back up. Secondly, we've got an inbuilt review engine, enabling customers to leave reviews in real time on your staff, on these brokers and agents, to help to know exactly how they're feeling about your team. And if you think that doesn't influence conversion rates, I can tell you the data says otherwise. So let's think a bit about our traction. What have we achieved so far? Well, AdvisrMe is the underlying technology. It's the engine that powers Advisor. Advisor is the largest site in Australia. 100,000 people went there last year, and we're connecting thousands and thousands of customers with brokers. It's happening all the time, and brokers like Abby love it. It's growing their business. In addition to that, we have large insurers like Bupa who are trusting us and trusting the AdvisrMe platform to help their agents get into market and to do distribution better. And lastly, we've received some great industry feedback over the last 12 months. We're a top 3 finalists in the InsureTech of the Year Awards and a few other ones there from insurance business. So if people form part of your business and they're part of your distribution channel, then AdvisrMe is the marketing platform that you need for them. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. And next, we have Tatiana, CEO and co-founder of Curium. Please welcome her on stage.
Hi, my name is Tatiana. I'm the CEO and the co-founder of Curium. So we are a compliance and claims technology platform. And you can tell, or some of you can tell, I'm a real insurance nerd. I love insurance. I love everything about it. I've been in the business of insurance for the past 15 years in more than 20 countries. Been consulting quite a lot about all different topics. And one thing that I love and learned from my career, I'm picking up common themes, big problems, and I love the most unsexy problems that there are in the industry. So today, in the next 5 minutes, you're going to hear from me about compliance. Now, not the topic that jumps, top of mind when you think about insurtechs, So let's start. Why do we need compliance, or why is it important, and why now? So if you have been on planet Earth for the last couple of months, you've heard about Optus, Medibank, big breaches, regulated industries, yet still big problems, and unregulated industries like cryptocurrencies and the big collapse at FTX and other players in the industry. It does bring you to the thought that we do need compliance. We as consumers, we want to be protected by someone when we buy a financial product. However, for those who deliver the financial product to us, and that's not necessarily just the big insurers around the block, these are also a lot of small and medium enterprises who work in the insurance ecosystem. For them, it can be quite overwhelming to cope with all the insurance and new regulations, new formats, new data readable reports that you need to produce. So it's quite complicated, to make money and still to be in line or at the latest of all the compliance issues. So why now? Well, lots and lots of headlines. Just last night, I saw a headline which is meant to blame and shame a director of a financial services firm banned from ever serving as a director in financial services again. So it's quite a big issue as of now. So in our experience, 9 out of 10 people in insurance, and I don't mean the head of compliance, I mean everybody serving the customers, touching the cash, picking up the phone, having anything to do with the customer money or operations, are actually not aware what their obligations are. Know nothing about it. And stuff like general insurance code of conduct, life insurance code of conduct, they're quite prescriptive in what these people need to know and be aware of. And at the same time, the regulators on the other side, they're flagging that people are underreporting. So if you're not reporting, let's say, a breach, it doesn't mean you don't have it. It sometimes, most often, means you don't know about it. So there are problems on both sides, right? Firms are struggling to cope, and the regulators are saying, well, you need to do a better job on this. So what we do, we have recently released a very new concept. We're solving compliance with technology, and we're doing it as a service. So think about us as an extension, a virtual extension of your compliance department, either existing or non-existing. Not everybody has one. And think about us doing a lot of the thinking and the checking the regulations on your behalf and giving you the out-of-the-box compliance toolkit to manage all of the AFS license requirements. And it doesn't matter if you're not AFS licensed entity, because if you work with one, you are being held to the same standard. So you need to be the same thing. So we use technology to run real-time things, and one good thing that I love about technology, it's automating a lot of very annoying and manual repetitive tasks like reporting. So who we do it for, as I was just saying, most businesses that operate in the insurance industry are actually not the big names that we've heard of. So we love working with big or small businesses. You cannot be too small or too big for us, because our technology is essentially infinitely scalable and very, very easy to set up. How we're different? Because we live in 2023, I'm sure you've all heard about Netflix. So we like thinking about us as a Netflix for insurance. We do very, very easy subscription model at a cost of a Netflix, and we can set a company up within 30 minutes. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed the presentation today, and let's make compliance great again.
Amazing. Thank you, Tatiana. Next, we have Nigel, founder and CEO of Kanopi. Let's put our hands together to welcome him.
Thank you, everybody. My name is Nigel Fellows-Freeman. I'm the founder and CEO of Kanopi, and we are unlocking the default insurance opportunity to the world. We live in a connected, contextual, and data-led world. That shift has happened. And is affecting every product and service that we interact with. So those product companies a few decades ago have become ecosystem companies of today. And those companies are delivering multiple services to each customer. And that's really deeply going through the financial services and really giving them embedded services within a single platform. But insurance has really been a laggard. And why is that? Because it's hard. Insurance today is decoupled from the point that it's needed. And so you buy a car, you buy a house, you start a company, you hire an employee, you then have to go and find the insurance afterwards. To me, that doesn't make sense. The risk and the asset and the risk transfer are these kind of discrete events. And that has really caused like this big growth in the protection gap, that gap between the insurance that people have and the insurance that people need in terms of socially and financially to be secure. And who are the two kind of actors in that game in terms of being able to fix it? The platforms and the insurers. And so those platforms want to deliver these services. They want to embed insurance inside of their platforms to help their customers. But they don't want to take on that regulatory burden themselves. And the insurers, we all know well, they have these big legacy stacks, unable to create and build products and release them in a timely fashion, and therefore makes it really uncommercial to launch lots of partnerships. But if we imagine a world in which it was possible, what would the technology have to do to make that happen? It would need to be able to create products in a few hours or a few days and have no engineers, just you and I being able to create a product, set up the document template, set up the underwriting rules and the rating tables. You want it to be able to deliver a contextual experience, be able to give that customer that embedded experience in the third party, taking 40 questions down to 4 and making them have a wonderful time while they're purchasing the product. You need to be able to have a plug-and-play API. How can you deliver and launch hundreds of partners in a year, not just heavily customized 1 or 2? How do you change the underwriting? We heard a bunch today about kind of a bunch of the geosite and much of those data sources that are available. How can you pull that data down and make it directly impact the underwriting models? So kind of not just make it more profitable risk, but protect the customer as they need it. And of course, sitting in the background, a policy system that really takes you into the future and kind of gives you that self-service for both the agent and the customer. That's what we thought, and that's why we built Kanopi. For the insurer, and we built a platform that enables them to kind of build, launch, and scale embedded products and do that at a fraction of the cost in a few days today. For the digital platform, they can unlock that embedded insurance opportunity, make their customers happy, and improve their kind of CAC to LTV. And obviously, most importantly, that kind of noble cause of reducing that protection gap and giving protection to the customers that need it, where and when they need it in the platforms that they love. Now, I could show you the policy system. I could show you the data layers that take all of these third-party data sets and put it intelligently across the system. I could usually show the product studio that allows us all to build a product ourselves in a few minutes. But I thought I'd give an insight in maybe how we see the future of insurance evolving. And so everyone's played with ChatGPT over the last few months, I've no doubt. And so the team thought we could build something that kind of integrated our document system and our policy system and our quote system directly into OpenAI. So we built an integration into the Ada and the Da Vinci models, which allowed us to ask direct questions, factual questions of the policy documents, the PDSs and the policy schedules, and get factual answers, not just the answer, but the contextual reference of where it is in the PDS. And so all of a sudden, you've got this agent that sits in the background answering questions factually and giving you the contextual reference for the customer to make a transparent decision. We see this as just a small part of the future of insurance. We believe in a world which you're walking around and every product and service you interact with perfectly protects you for the insurance that you need. And Kanopi is enabling insurers to realize that future today. Thank you.
Thank you, Nigel. Lastly, let's welcome Carolina, CEO and co-founder of Sync Technologies, on stage.
Hello, everyone. My name is Carolina, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of SyncTech. And we all in Australia cannot really deny that over the last couple of years, the numbers of cat events have surged. And that means that the insurance industry has to deal with hundreds and thousands of claims in addition to the regular claims and property claims. But one thing we can't forget is that behind every claim is a family and a business that has to deal with the aftermath of that event, and they expect a fast resolution. And you might have experienced it yourself when you put in a claim, the delays, obstacles, and misunderstandings that are along the way. The problem is huge, and so are the costs, but there are just too many claims and not enough resources in order to be able to go on site and gather enough site data and make a quick assessment. As a consequence, if you look at last October's CAT event in Tasmania, Victoria, and New South Wales, 63% of all the claims remain unprocessed. Furthermore, 22% of last year's flood event in Queensland and New South Wales are still outstanding. And these 22% represent 53,000 claims. With other words, 53,000 families and businesses that are still waiting. And just to put a little bit more fuel into the fire, if you look into the insolvency cases, construction businesses and builders represent 30% of all the insolvencies in Australia, putting more homes in commercial sites unfinished as a result. Well, let's sit down a moment. Well, we at Sync are tackling this problem by providing visual property data to the insurance companies. We're actually helping to adopt a desktop assessment. And as you can see on the example here of a flood claim, where the assessor is able to review a property virtually from the desktop, where we have infused photos from the insured and are able to simulate water levels, the assessors are actually able to work with this information without having to send so many people on site, and with that speed up the assessment. Furthermore, this information can be also shared with other stakeholders, such as the builder who has been put on charge for the rectification, and it also serves as a digital record keeping for future references in case of a dispute or if there are further claims along the line. With the use of our technology, we have been able to reduce the overall assessment time and travel cost of the initial assessment by up to 75%. And with our main partners within the insurance industry, we have created many use cases where this technology can be used. As an example, we did previous year's earthquake in Melbourne. Here, we could, at that moment, because of border closures, the experts from New Zealand couldn't fly to Australia. But we were able to provide this information to the right audience and experts in New Zealand in order to help with the assessment, and with that speed up the claims management process. We also have worked on the current flood and storm events, and most recently with Pivotal Homes and Oracle Homes on the insolvency cases. Our system has been rigorously tested on over 1,000 claims. Our digital twins have been reviewed over 19,000 times, and we have saved over 7,000 working days. And our aim is to accelerate the whole claims management process by providing aerial and ground-based data within 48 hours after attendance, and with that help families and businesses and all these affected to make the claims process faster. The main use cases has been for the claims management process, for fraud detection, but also in order to enhance the underwriting process. If you want to learn more, I'm happy to discuss it later. Thank you.
So with that, we end the InsureTech pitches. I think that was very, very difficult to kind of decide who will be the winner. So I'm going to leave that to the 4 judges there. But now you can do your part by scanning the QR code and voting for your favorite InsureTech to represent Australia in InsureTech Connect Asia 2023. Thank you.